or in 2023, Tars, Tanita, Jocelyn, and I, we went to one of our friends' funeral, Rodney's. And at Rodney's funeral, this lady got up and she looked at Rodney's 4 daughters. She said, a person dies twice. The first time they die is when they leave this earth. And the second time they die is when we stop mentioning their names. And May, what you and your family is doing to honor Duntavian is very important. Because when I look back in 1990, when I first went off to go to college, and I remember when I got ready to go, I went to see Katie. And Katie really didn't want me to go because she had just lost her son about 6 months prior to that. And she thought something was going to happen to me. So when I went to see Katie, the first thing Katie said is Glenn. Now, if you know my older brothers and sisters, from Ray up, they would call me Glenn. And from Kathy down, they would call me Boo Tick, Tick, Boo. I don't think they really knew my real name until we got a little older. But Tammy, she will always call me Glenn. But Katie said, Glenn. She said, why you have to go all the way to Waco to go to college? I said, Katie, they gave me a scholarship to go there. And Katie said, oh, okay. So we got in her vehicle and we went to South Quarters to that old trailer house that Anthony used to live in. And we gathered up all the little canned goods that was there. It was about 7 or 8 canned goods. Some black-eyed peas and corn and maybe 1 can of sweet potatoes. Then we went back to West Lake. And I didn't have a vehicle at the time. So Kurt Morgan was nice enough to come all the way to West Lake to pick me up to take me back to Waco. But I remember when I was getting ready to get in Kurt's truck, Daddy walked up to me and he handed me half a roll of quarters, maybe a little bit more. It was about $5 or $6. And for the first time in my life, Daddy hugged me. And Daddy said, Glenn, he didn't hug. Daddy said, Glenn, whatever you do, never feel sorry for yourself. I said, yes, sir. And Daddy turned around and he went back to that little red S10 that was loaded down with collard greens and turnips and mustards, and he had a few little okra. And he was taking them uptown to give the elderly some fresh vegetables. But here go where the story gets interesting. It's about 4 hours later when Kurt and I arrived in Waco. I remember stepping out of Kurt's truck, and I reached in the back and I grabbed my black bag. It was a garbage bag filled with everything I own, including those canned goods that you gave me. And then I looked around and I didn't see any trees and I started getting nervous. And then that little boy started talking to me. He said, Glenn, what if you run out of food and you get hungry? I looked around, I didn't see Katie, May, Ely, Diane, or Bernadine. And then it said, Glenn, what if you need a haircut? I looked around and I didn't see Clay. And he kept talking to me and said, Glenn, you have only $6 in your pocket. He said, your financial aid won't kick in for another 2 weeks. He said, what if you run out of money and you need a little change to make it through? And I looked around and I didn't see Ray. And I've been over and I threw up. And everything Daddy told me 4 hours earlier went right out the window. I started feeling sorry for myself. I said, I got $6 in my pocket. I had counted it by then. And I was still grieving from the loss of my nephew, Dodie, who was also my best friend. And yes, I was questioning God. I said, God, why would you take Dodie? A person that was so good to everybody, a person that treated everybody with respect. You know, and a matter of fact, Dodie wouldn't even go hunting with me and Andy because he didn't want to kill the squirrel. But me and Andy killed all the squirrels. We also killed the squirrel, the handicapped squirrel that was behind Aunt Jeannie Bell's house. It was about 100 yards behind Aunt Jeannie Bell's house, and we cleaned them. And Mama would make that gravy, you know, and put it over a bed of rice. Dodie he didn't want to kill the squirrels, but he sure ate that gravy. So not only was I broke, I was broke. But somewhere along the way, this dark chocolate girl named Jocelyn, she bought me a potato. I ended up finishing my degree there in Waco. And I walked across that little stage and got my welding degree. Katie, they was all there, you know. And May, like I said, what you guys are doing to honor Duntavian, this is very important.
Amen.
You know?
Yes.
And I believe that this foundation will grow bigger and bigger each year. Maybe we can help a struggling mom with 3 kids that is trying to figure out how she's going to pay her past due light bill that is going to be disconnected in a couple of days. Or maybe we can help this father at a gas station trying to make a life decision, either to use the little change in his pocket to put gas in his truck to make it to work and back home, or to hold on to that little change to make sure his family eat for that day.
Amen.
And I would donate to this foundation for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because that father at that gas station making that life decision, that was me one day. So maybe by helping one struggling father, one day he might be able to help 10 people.
Yes.
Then 10 people together might be able to help 100, 1,000, 1,000, 10,000, 10,000, 100,000. Can you imagine 100,000 people coming together and helping 1 million people? So maybe that's what Tasha meant when she called Kendrick and I back into the room that day. She said, Uncle Boutique. And she was taking her last few breaths. She said, Uncle Boutique. I said, yeah, what you want, Tasha? I tried to make her laugh. She said, Uncle Boutique, I want y'all to change the world. And this is how you change the world, by helping one struggling person at a time.
Yes.
And I know I've been talking a lot. I'll leave y'all with this quote by Denzel Washington.
Hey, we don't want you to stop.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this quote by Denzel Washington. I like Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Maybe because Denzel and I was born on the same day on December the 28th. But Denzel said that the most selfish thing you can do in this world is help someone else. Why is it selfish? Because of the gratification, the goodness that comes from it, the good feeling you get when you help someone else. There's no greater feeling. So maybe that's why Mom and Daddy did it. Thank you guys.
Hey, all right. Awesome, boo.
Later, boo. Jeremy. I thought you had.
I thought it did too.
Thank you.
Well, you grinding like me.
I really enjoyed it.
Yes.
Glenn have some good memories
Yeah.
and some really deep word, and he have really contributed to Duntavian scholarship. He even went out of the way last year to give an extra to give to a needy family at Ray Lewis Church.
Amen.
And they were so it was good. I wanted him here today, but I don't know what Ray Lewis said. I told him that we would like for him to come, but I didn't know if they need a ride or whatever. But they are a Ray church member, and it was really, 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 really good.
Amen.
And now we will have one more speaker, and I really want young people to listen, to think about what you're doing right at this moment and what you can correct and change.
Yeah.
Because as parents, we grieve hard with our children. We want the best for our children. We love our children. And our sister Katie, she have taken in so many children, I can't count. So she's mother to so many young people. And I noticed they never ever forget her. They're always doing something kind for her because she was always kind.